Houston's largest international and independent film festival is almost here. The 16th annual Houston Cinema Arts Festival runs November 7th through the 17th, featuring over 40 unique film events, workshops, performances, and more. Just the first week, you can see the coming-of-age film Tendaberry, then the 30th anniversary screening of Reality Bites, and Swamp Dogg gets his pool painted with a performance from Swamp Dogg himself at the newly reopened River Oaks Theater. Get your all-access passes, which include all the screenings, performances, and exclusive parties at cinemahtx.org/HCAF. Single tickets are available too. November is the month to explore Pearland's dining scene with Pearland Restaurant Weeks. From Boiling Dragon's famous dragon seafood fried rice to your new favorite chicken fried chicken at Magnolia Cajun Comfort, there's a Pearland restaurant to satisfy every palate. Support small and discover neighborhood gems in Pearland this fall with Pearland Restaurant Weeks running November 1st through the 30th. See the menus at visitpearland.com/restaurant weeks and start planning your weekend today. Today on CityCast Houston, it's been a stressful week with the election, and on tomorrow's show, we're going to dig more into what the state and local results mean for H-Town, including the news that Democrat Sean Tier will be Harris County's new district attorney. But right now, whether you're looking to eat your feelings or celebrate a local or national race, we're going to revisit our conversation about our favorite Houston foods. We're talking mac and cheese, fajitas, and of course, margaritas. The whole CityCast Houston team joined me to build our ultimate Houston food plates. It's Thursday, November 7th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Oh, it is a full house today. We are drafting our ultimate Houston food plate. How's everybody doing?
Ready to go.
Doing well. Getting hungry, just thinking about my list.
Same. Doing great, though.
So, y'all, this draft is going to be 5 rounds, and we're going to be drafting the following items: an appetizer, 2 sides, an entree, and a dessert. And at the end of this episode, we're going to post our picks on Instagram, and we'll need your help voting on who won this draft. And the draft order is going to be the following. Hey Houston newsletter editor Brooke Lewis is going to have the first overall pick. Then producer Carleon Jones. Then it's going to be executive producer Laura Eisensee. And then it'll be me making the 4th pick in the first round. And this is going to be a snake style draft, so that order will be reversed in round 2. But it's going to make sense as we pick. Because there's a lot of picks, we're going to jump right into this. And Brooke, you have the first overall pick. You can pick anything from any Houston restaurant, any side, any appetizer, any entree, a dessert. What are you taking with the first overall pick?
Oh, this is hard. I'm going to go with the mac and cheese from Lucille's. So you guys, mac and cheese, it has a high bar. And for me, there's no better mac and cheese than my grandma's mac and cheese. But this mac and cheese from Lucille's, which is like a Southern restaurant in the Museum District, you could just literally have the mac and cheese and nothing else, and you would love it. So I'm going with that.
Wow. I did not see a side going first, but that is a very strong pick. Carly, you're on the clock. What is your first pick?
Ooh, okay. So I think I'm going to go with the lamb chops from Taste Bar because I had these lamb chops for one of my friend's birthdays, and I was eating them off the bone. The person across from me was like, okay, I think that they're gone. I think that they're done. You can let it go now. They were so good.
So Carly, are you taking this as an appetizer or an entree?
Oh, it's an entree. It's an entree.
Okay.
Start off strong.
Okay, Laura, you're on the clock. Your first pick. We've got a side off. We've got an entree off the draft board. What are you taking?
I'm going to go for appetizer because I love to start with some really fresh seafood. We're on the Gulf Coast. There's so many good options. It's hard to pick, but I'm going to go classic, the shrimp remoulade at Brennan's. Buttery, big Gulf Coast shrimp with that savory, spicy mustard sauce. You can sit on the patio. It's lovely. I think this is the perfect start to the ultimate Houston food plate.
So that means it is my pick. Now, I'm not messing around, okay? I am not leaving this pick out there for y'all to steal later on because this entree is what Houston is known for. It started here. I'm taking the classic fajitas from Ninfa's as my first overall pick. Again, I'm telling you, I didn't want to leave this out there for y'all to steal. So that is now officially off the board. Fajitas are off the board from Ninfa's.
That's okay with me. I got a great entree.
Okay. I feel like that's safe.
All right. So round 2, here's the order. It's going to be me, Laura, Carly, and Brooke. I get the first pick in round 2. And again, I'm not going to wait for somebody else to steal this from me. And y'all know I have a sweet tooth. I will take a dessert in round 2. I know this is way too high for a dessert, but I don't want to miss out on this. I'm taking the Bayou Goo Pie from House of Pies. I need this on my ultimate Houston food plate. It is officially off the board. Give me that slice of pie. Laura, what's your next pick?
I'm just going to keep going in order of how I would want to eat and enjoy my plate. And I'm going to sneak in some vegetables, but in a really special way. This is the carrot taco from Emma, which sounds wild, but it is so delicious. I wasn't sure when I saw it. It's a confit carrot on this heirloom corn tortilla, and it is so savory and good. And I love it. It's one of my favorite dishes right now. So I definitely want that on my plate.
That's a good pick in round 2. Now, Carly, you're up. What are you taking?
Okay. I've been obsessed with this side since I was a kid. I'm going to take us to Rosenberg here for this one. And it's Schulzer Barbecue. They have this side that's called the baked potato salad. Oh my God. When I tell you it's like one of the best sides that you will ever have, like you just need a whole bucket of it. It's so good.
Ooh. Heading out to my part of town here, Richmond, Rosenberg area. Okay,
Yeah.
did not see that one coming. Like it, Carly. Good one. Brooke, what are you taking for your pick in round 2?
Okay, I'm still a little mad that Raheel stole House of Pies because that is my place and I forgot about it for my Houston plate, but that's okay. I'm going to go to brisket from Truth Barbecue. I think we can all appreciate it. We all had it. It's so good. And just think about it. You just had some mac and cheese from Lucille's, then you're going to have the brisket from Truth Barbecue. This already sounds like an amazing plate.
Ooh, that sounds really good. That is your entree. So your entree and one of your sides are done. You still have a side, an appetizer, and dessert to go. And you are first up in round 3, Brooke. So how are you going to complete your plate?
Okay, so for another side, the grits from the Breakfast Club. You guys,
Ooh.
I know we talk about the chicken and waffles, and I really almost put it on here. They're good, but man, the grits from the Breakfast Club, you just like Carly said, you could have a whole bucket of the baked potato salad. You could have a whole bucket of the grits, and you would love them. So, got to go with that.
The best part about that pick, because this is a fantasy draft, right? Like there are no rules. We're going to assume that there's no lines either for this one, okay?
Yes,
Like it just magically is going to appear on your plate. So I love that. All right, Carly, you are up for round 3. You've already drafted a side. You've drafted your entree. How are you completing out your plate in round 3?
Okay, so I'm going to go for dessert. Even though I don't have like a huge sweet tooth, this is definitely worth your sweet tooth. So there is a bakery out in Pearland called Cake Station Express that's owned by a family friend, and it's also a family-owned business. And they have some of the best pies and cakes that I've ever had. Like, I mean, so moist, so delicious, like just perfectly balanced. And it's not like overly sweet, but it's like just the perfect amount. Like it's just delicious. And by the way, this is where Bun B gets his like cakes from. So you know it's a good place. Okay. Like you know it's good. You got to go try it.
Are you taking a specific item or are you drafting the whole place?
The whole place. Give me the whole place.
Okay. So you're taking the whole place now. I don't want to be critical of your draft here, Carly, but I feel like you could have taken this in the 5th round because we didn't know about this. You pulled a friends and family connection. You probably could have gotten this in the 5th round.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I didn't think about that. I was just trying to go for the strong ones.
All right, Laura, how are you going to complete your plate in round 3?
Okay, so I'm going to jump to my entree. And kind of like you, I'm staying Tex-Mex, but I'm going a little more Mex-Mex. Pico's is one of my favorite restaurants in Houston. Gonna admit I kind of liked the original location on Bel Air, more, but my entree is the chicken mole. So this is a mole negro in the Oaxacan style. And I just love all the spices and ground chile and chocolate flavor. It is so rich and decadent and complex. I love it. And I think it's just a great plate for Houston.
That is a very good pick right there in round 3. And you get that, as you mentioned, that sweetness, but you also get the kick of it.
Mhm. Yeah.
How are you eating it though? Are you going with rice or are you going with tortillas?
Oh, why not both? I mean,
Hey.
yeah. I mean, they serve it with Oaxacan rice, but I always like to have tortillas on the side. But you could also just skip the entree and go to Pico's on the weekend and get their brunch buffet, which is kind of a splurge, but it is totally worth the drive. I mean, you get the mole, you get tamales, you get this great beef. They have waffles, they have eggs, they have all these Mexican cookies. I mean, it is amazing. And I could just eat there all day.
Wow. And the buffet is only $42. So like think about it. If you're going for your birthday,
Yeah.
right? You're going to be spending what, like 60, $70 at a steakhouse if that's what you're into. For $42, you get a buffet at one of the best restaurants. That is really good. I feel like we just drafted a whole buffet as your pick. All right, so this brings me to my round 3 pick, and I still need an appetizer. And y'all know my favorite restaurant in Houston is Aga's. It is the best South Asian food out there, Indo-Pak food. And I need those goat chops from Aga's as my appetizer. So I am drafting them in round 3. I'm happy they fell this low in the draft because now I can get some iconic Houston items on my plate and I get the goat chops in round 3. So there you
Ooh,
go.
I wish I would have put the chicken lollipops on mine. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
You still can, Carly. It's still out there. You can draft anything you want. You still have 2 more
You're right,
rounds.
you're
Have
right.
a side.
I'm gonna think about it.
One thing I love about Houston is that it's full of amazing stories. Here's one that I just learned about. In 1940, a girl named Ruth Steinfeld and her family were deported from Germany to one of the first Nazi concentration camps in France. She and her sister managed to escape with the help of a rescue group, and Ruth ended up making a life here in Houston. Now, her portrait is part of a new exhibit called Facing Survival by David Casson. The exhibit memorializes over 24 survivors at Holocaust Museum Houston, and they really make you think about the resiliency of the human spirit. Facing Survival is on view now through January 5th at Holocaust Museum Houston, and the museum is free on Thursdays from 2 to 5 p.m., and kids 18 and under and college students are always free at Holocaust Museum Houston. Learn more at hmh.org/Facing Survival.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.
Okay, so round 3 is in the books, and we have 2 more rounds left. I will have the first pick in round 4. Again, it's snake style. I've already drafted an entree, dessert, and appetizer, so that means I can draft sides with my final 2 picks. So the first one I'm taking the fried green beans from Cooking Girl. There is no better side, in my opinion, that consistently hits. I can eat that whole thing as a meal. It is so perfect. So the fried green beans, I feel better about myself after drafting a dessert so early that I'm drafting some green beans. But that's my pick for round 4.
Wow. I've never been to that restaurant,
Yeah.
so I'm curious to try it out.
Yeah, you have to try them out. The fried green beans are by far the most consistent dish on their menu. I love it. I've never had a bad experience with that order. So definitely you got to hit them up. All right, we are nearing the end of the draft. Laura, you have a dessert, and a side left to pick. What are you taking in round 4?
I'm going to go with my other side, which is going to be a margarita. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's a twist.
No, my other side is going to be from Da Gama, which is this great restaurant in the Heights area, fusion of South Asian and Portuguese cuisine. So classic Houston fusion place. They have these great roasted potatoes served with cauliflower. You get this curry, turmeric, aioli, chutneys. So it's super savory. I guess you kind of get a theme with my plate. I love savory. It's kind of like a twist on Spanish potatoes, but Portuguese with all these like South Asian flavors. The name is Aloo Gobi Bravas, which I'm probably mispronouncing. But I'm going to put that on my side.
Oh, that is good. I've never heard of that side, but an aloo gobi is something that my mom used to make all the time in our house growing up. So I definitely get the influence there from the South Asian culture.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's like the potato bravas are like the Spanish Portuguese with the aloo gobi. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I need to try that one. Carly, what are you taking in round 4?
Okay, I'm going to go with my appetizer. And the thing is I'm not really huge on appetizers either. I love like queso when I go to like Mexican restaurants, but Papados has these crispy alligator bites that I am obsessed with.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're so good. I get them half blackened and half fried, and me and my brother, we tear that plate up every single time. I'm telling you, they're so delicious. If you have not tried them, please go try them. Run to Papados right now. It's so good.
Yes.
Wow. I thought you were about to take queso because nobody has taken queso as an appetizer and it was there for the taking, but you went alligator bites. That's a good pick
Yeah,
right
I
there.
almost went to queso, but I was like, I feel like that might be a light pick. I feel like, y'all were going to come with some heavy hitters. So I had to go with
Yeah.
the alligator bites.
Okay, I like it. Now, Brooke, what are you taking in round 4?
Yes. So I had a lot to choose from for this because I was like, what do I want to go with? And I think I'm actually going to go with the original Nympharita, which is the margarita you can get at Nympha's as
Whoa.
my
yeah.
appetizer. As my appetizer.
Hold on. How are we feeling about this? A margarita as an appetizer. Team, what is the ruling
I
here?
think it counts. You do start with the margaritas. You do start with
Right.
I think it only counts if you have the chips and queso.
Yeah, I had that, but I didn't know if I could put it all together. I had the guac and the chips. So for me, that is an appetizer. Like I usually get the chips and guac and I
Okay.
get the margarita from Nympha's, and that's how I start my meal.
Hey, sometimes you got to finesse a pick. And it looks like Brooke just took 4 items with one pick. And we should have done this earlier. So kudos to you, Brooke and Laura, for helping her out on that one.
Yes.
Look at that. Look, we have a little team forming here. So they're helping each other out for the 4th round.
I mean, I took a whole building, so I think Brooke is valid here.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, you took a whole building, Carly, and maybe I should have done that. So I could have just taken Nympha's off the board and made Brooke panic for round 4. But I did it. And that's why we're doing this draft. Okay, Brooke, it's a final round. So you are going to start us off on this one. What are you taking to finish out your plate? Because you have an app, you have your 2 sides, you have your entree that leaves us with a dessert. What are you taking?
So I'm going to go with the creme brulee at Bistro Manil. Sounds so delicious. And I love creme brulee. So we had brisket, we had grits, we had mac and cheese, we had a margarita, and then we're ending with, a nice little creme brulee. Your stomach is probably going to hurt you guys, but it's okay.
But that creme brulee is so light. It is the perfect ending. It's not overwhelming. So that's not a bad pick as a dessert on
Yeah.
such a loaded plate.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, love Bistro Manil. That's a good one. I wish I had picked that one.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite restaurants.
Bistro Manila is starting to become our restaurant for 2024 on this show because we always bring it up. And it is so perfect, especially with the weather getting cooler in September, October. It's a great place to sit.
Yes, and participate with them in Houston Restaurant Weeks. I went last week, and they're definitely one of the restaurants that you can go. So it's a great choice.
Okay, Carly, round 5. You've got everything on your plate, but you need one more side. Where are you going?
Okay, I'm going to round off my plate with Perry Steakhouse lobster mac and cheese. Yeah,
Mm.
I had to put some mac and cheese
Oh.
on there. I mean, I love some ooey gooey mac and cheese. So Brooke started off with mac and cheese. I'm ending with the
Yeah.
mac and cheese. And I think mine might be better.
Oh,
Can you pick mac and cheese though? Because Brooke already got mac and cheese. I don't know.
But she got it from a different place.
oh, we got a little
So,
controversy.
I upstaged her,
Uh-oh.
you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think I'll let it sit because you know what? I'm not worried about her choice. Lucille's mac and cheese just tops the Perry's lobster mac and cheese. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
Uh-oh, we have a
Okay.
little controversy here. This is like the Olympics. We're going to take Carly's bronze medal away.
No, we're gonna let the people decide that.
Yeah, we'll let the
Yes.
people decide in the Instagram comments. But our second controversy of the day now. All right, Laura, dessert time for you. You went in order. So now you have a dessert. What are you taking?
Yeah, so I'm going with sort of a sleeper place that maybe not a lot of people have heard about, but I really love Davanti's. It's an Italian restaurant tucked inside a shopping center, kind of by the Central Market on Wesleyan. And one reason why I love Davanti's is that they have several gluten-free desserts. So I'm gluten-free and I have a sweet tooth. So this can be challenging in Houston, but they have several gluten-free desserts. They have this almond cake, they have panna cotta, but my favorite is the chocolate decadence torta. So it's this chocolate ooey gooey cake. It is so rich. I can almost like not finish it because it's so decadent, but it's just fantastic way to finish off a plate, classic chocolate with a little decaf espresso on the side.
Okay, is that like a milk chocolate or is it a dark chocolate?
Oh no, we're going dark chocolate.
Oh, you're like my wife. She loves dark chocolate. I need a milk or white chocolate. I can't do dark chocolate. It's too much for me.
Well, that's why you just have a little ice cream scoop
Okay.
to kind of sweeten it a little. It's fantastic. I love this place.
Nice. That's a good one right there. All right, so that leaves me with the final pick of this entire draft. I can take anything I want that is on the board, and I'm glad nobody took this one, but I am taking the truffle cheese bread from Pizzeria Solario for my side. I know that sounds like an appetizer, but trust me, it is a side because it is my draft. I don't know. What do y'all think? Is it okay to take a cheesy truffle bread as a side?
As a side, I mean,
Like, sounds a little suspect. I don't
starchy.
I agree,
know.
I mean, cousin of potatoes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's sitting on the side, you know. I'm just saying. And sure, it's an appetizer on their website, but I don't know. If you guys are okay with that, I'm taking the cheesy truffle bread because I just need that in my life.
Who said it's even
I
listed?
mean, I had a margarita as a appetizer,
right.
so I think we can
You're
let
right,
it
you're right.
let it stand.
but at least the margarita comes out first. Like that's the first thing that's gonna hit the table.
Right.
Where Hills is coming out like with the meal or after.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
to
just
be
cutting
fair-
corners. He's cutting corners. It's okay.
Yeah, to be fair, when we go to Pizzeria Solario, what I do is, yes, it comes out first, but I also eat it while my pizza is out. So, like, it's on the side of the pizza as well.
Okay.
I know it's a stretch, but it was there for the taking, and I had to at least try and see if I could get away with it.
Okay.
We're just gonna let the audience decide if Raheel is trying to cut corners or not.
I'm on the fence. I want to give it to you, but there's so many good options. I feel like there's something else, but it's your plate. We'll see what folks say.
Okay, so the draft is complete, and I feel like we left a lot of heavy hitters off of our plates. And again, this is all personal taste. It is our opinion. So let's talk about some of the dishes that were not drafted. As I mentioned, queso was not taken, and that is a big Houston staple for a lot of us, right? Anything else jump to mind for y'all that wasn't drafted? Frenchies? Nothing from Frenchies
Oh
was
my
taken.
gosh,
Yeah, the French fries
Frenchies.
from Frenchies, or even the fried chicken. Anything else?
Also, the billionaire fried rice from Fat Eatery, you guys, that was like one of the best
Ooh, yeah.
sides I've ever had. And Fat Eatery has now 2 locations, Woodlands. They have a location out in Katy. We've talked about them on the podcast before. So we forgot them.
Fat Eatery in Katy, Asia Town. That's another one, Laura. Nobody drafted anything from Katy, Asia Town or the Bel Air, Asia Town. I mean, we left some big items off the list.
You know, I feel like there's some flavors of Houston that we're missing. It's like we need a whole nother course to explore these.
Yeah, literally, because I was trying to decide between my entrees and I went with the Taste Bar lamb chops, but I wanted to do the chicken fried chicken from Grace's because that is also a heavy hitter. So
yeah,
there's some stuff that I was like debating on, but we had, only 5 picks.
Well, this is where the listeners will come in. Go to our Instagram page at CityCast Houston. You'll see the draft, the full draft. Up there, you can critique our picks. You can let us know who had the best Houston food plate. And then also, you can draft your items as well. Let us know what you would pick as your appetizer, your sides, entrees, and dessert. This is a really hard draft because there's so many great options. But I think we did a pretty good job of laying out some great picks. So thank you, team. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Now let's see who wins.
Team Raheel. Come on, y'all. That was producer Carleon Jones, Hey Houston newsletter editor Brooke Lewis, and executive producer Laura Isensee. So which plate was the best? Let me know on Instagram by sending us a DM at CityCast Houston. All the places and dishes we picked are linked in our show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, stick around. Hit the subscribe button so we can bring you more Houston news and food recommendations. And please text this episode to 3 friends who love to try new restaurants. You can also subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Houston, for even more food news and happenings around H-Town. And speaking of events, mark your calendar for Wednesday, December 4th, and join me and the rest of the CityCast Houston team at St. Arnold Brewing Company for our Listener Appreciation Party. It's free, but please RSVP with the link in our show notes, and the first 25 people there will get a complimentary drink. We can't wait to see you there. That will do it for today. I'm Raheel Ramzanali. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new. We'll be back tomorrow for our Friday News Roundup with what these state and local results mean for H-Town.